The Netherlands is referred to wherever as a place that is known for windmills, channels, and tulips, and the present guests unquestionably will discover these among its numerous vacation destinations. However, alongside the country's numerous stunning nurseries and pleasant towns, those touring here will likewise track down the energetic capital city of Amsterdam, loaded up with historical centers displaying a rich legacy of specialists. Think Rembrandt and Van Gogh. Different spots to visit incorporate various Middle-Age palaces and cityscapes, alongside a 13,800 section of land public park, and a tide control framework that has been named one of the 7 wonders of the modern world. Given the moderately little size of the Netherlands, every one of these attractions and fun activities are inside a generally minimized territory, and the scene is very level. The most noteworthy height is scarcely 1,000 feet above ocean level. Therefore, it's incredibly simple to do at any rate a tad bit of your touring the Dutch way, by bike. Numerous people group effectively support the utilization of pedal control and give free bicycles to investigate the sights. Number 1. Jordaan and Amsterdam's canals. Channels are a significant piece of Amsterdam's cityscape as they are to the city of Venice, and probably the most suffering recollections for any guest are the time spent investigating the city's brilliant streams. While a large number of Amsterdam's best vacation destinations can undoubtedly be gotten to by boat visit or water taxi, including the greater part of the significant historical centers and craftsmanship exhibitions, nothing beats walking around the more modest, calmer roads that line the streams. Especially enchanting is the Jordaan, an area worked in the mid-1600s to house laborers and settlers drawn here for the city's strict resistance. Alongside its little waterway side houses, search for the neighborhood's many hofjes, the curious inward patios taken cover behind the structures. Another photograph commendable area is the Grachtengordel, with its numerous little extensions and curious 17th-century homes. You'll be remunerated as you investigate these 400-year-old roads with instances of wonderful engineering, little store shops, bistros, and nurseries. Make certain to pay special mind to the numerous houseboats secured along the trenches. Number 2. Keukenhof. Think about the Netherlands, and you'll unavoidably consider tulips, the country's most famous blossom. Furthermore, quite possibly the most excellent spots to visit in the Netherlands grandstands these and other spring bulbs in dynamite bounty. Keukenhof, also called the Nursery of Europe, is situated on the edges of the town of Lies in what's broadly viewed as the bulb belt of the Netherlands. The biggest public nursery on the planet, including in excess of 70 sections of land of what was at one time the previous kitchen, or keuken, nursery of a huge nation domain. Keukenhof shows in excess of 700 assortments of tulips, which are at their stature in April and May. Number 3. Rijksmuseum, Amsterdam. The stupendous Rijksmuseum, otherwise known as the National Museum, in Amsterdam's Museumplein, Museum Square, has been gathering uncommon craftsmanship and artifacts since 1809. As anyone might expect, its broad assortment today adds up to almost 7 million masterpieces, remembering 5,000 works of art for in excess of 250 rooms, just as a tremendous library for certain 35,000 books. Aside from its novel assortment of old experts, this breathtaking historical center offers a comprehensive record of the advancement of workmanship and culture in the Netherlands and is particularly wealthy in customary Dutch handiworks, Middle-Age figure, and current craftsmanship. Be set up to spend the most amazing aspect of a day, or more, investigating this present historical center's unlimited fortunes. Number 4. Anne Frank House, Amsterdam. The Anne Frank House is an unquestionable requirement when in Amsterdam. On Prinsengracht, in the home where Anne's family covered up for a lot of World War II, they were Jewish evacuees from Frankfurt, is the place where this wonderful young lady kept in touch with her acclaimed journal. Despite the fact that she passed on only 2 months before the conflict finished, her inheritance lives on through her words, which have since been converted into 51 dialects. The rear of the completely re-established house where the Frank family had their concealing spot has been kept in its unique state, however much as could be expected, and is an impactful landmark to an unfortunate cut of world history and a daring young lady who keeps on rousing individuals all throughout the planet. An expression of alert. Tickets for this must-see fascination do sell out, so make certain to hold yours online well early. Number 5. Van Gogh Museum, Amsterdam. As befits one of the world's most noteworthy specialists, the fantastic Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam is positioned a great number 2 in a main rundown of the top workmanship historical centers worldwide, pulling in practically 1.5 million guests every year. Home to the world's biggest assortment of Van Gogh canvases, many gave by the craftsman's family, this amazing display and gallery was extraordinarily worked to grandstand the in excess of 200 artworks, 500 drawings, and 700 letters in its tremendous assortment. Works by his counterparts are additionally in plain view. A feature is taking part in the Historical Center's new Meet Vincent van Gogh experience, which offers an interesting, innovative, intuitive glance at the craftsman's life and times, just as his most popular work. Number 6. The Windmills of Kinderdijk. On the River Noord among Rotterdam and Dordrecht is the renowned town of Kinderdijk, Children's Dike, which takes its name from an occurrence during the St. Elizabeth's Day surge of 1421 after a kid's support had been abandoned on the barrier. The enormous draw these days are the fabulously safeguarded 18th-century windmills. Presently UNESCO World Heritage Sites, the 19 Kinderdijk windmills, worked somewhere in the range of 1722 and 1761, are the biggest enduring grouping of windmills in the Netherlands. Initially used to deplete the fenlands, these great structures with their noteworthy 92-foot sails are available to people in general from April to October, including uncommon mill days when the sails are put into action. Number 7. De Hoge Veluwe National Park. You might be astonished to discover that the Netherlands, a moderately little nation, brags one the world's most assorted public park programs. The biggest is De Hoge Veluwe National Park, Nationaal Park De Hoge Veluwe, among Arnhem and Apeldoorn. Covering almost 13,800 sections of land, this public park is the biggest persistent nature save in the nation, just as being quite possibly the most famous road trip objections for local people and guests the same. Including thick forests in the north, just as an interesting model park, the territory was before a nation bequest and chasing hold, and right up, till the present time is home to numerous red and roe deer. The best saved piece of the recreation center incorporates a space of emotional ridges scattered with heath and forest and hindered in the south and east by moraines up to 100 meters high. It's likewise a mainstream territory for birdwatching, just as climbing and trekking. Utilization of bicycles is free to guests. Number 8. The IJsselmeer, Zuiderzee. Among the most excellent towns in the Netherlands are the little villas along the IJsselmeer, Lake IJssel, the freshwater lake that came about because of the end of the ocean access to the Zuiderzee. These towns thrived during Amsterdam's golden age, when they approached the Atlantic and succeeded as fishing and exchange focuses, yet lost significance as the harbors silted up. Time appears to have stopped for the fishing town of Marken and the seaports of Volendam and Enkhuizen, where a considerable lot of the bright houses have become galleries and shops. Enkhuizen has safeguarded a large number of its structures and nautical enterprises in the outside Zuiderzee Museum, where the social legacy and oceanic history of the old Zuiderzee area is saved. Here, you can see specialists at work mastering old sea abilities. In Volendam's harbor, you can see an assortment of beautiful old wooden boats. Number 9. Delta Works. Zeeland's spectacular dikes. Joining the deltas of the Rhine, the Maas, and the Scheldt rivers, Zeeland incorporates the various islands and promontories of the southwestern part of the Netherlands. A lot of this space of as of late shaped land is beneath ocean level and thusly dependent upon great dams, just as current flood avoidance procedures. As you venture to every part of the space, you'll see proof of the uber designing task known as the Delta Works. These huge constructions, fundamentally Greetings Tech dams, can handle how much water enters the region's critical estuaries from the North Sea. Comprising of dams, floodgates, bolts, embankments, and tempest flood boundaries, this amazing $7 billion United States dollars venture has been pronounced one of the 7 wonders of the modern world. Number 10. Memorable Valkenburg. For those searching for a little old history, the Netherlands isn't without its own archaic, and prior, attractions. Heartfelt Little Valkenburg, in the pleasant Goul Valley, flaunts the country's Just Ridge Palace. Long a famous occasion resort, the town's other huge draws are its numerous caverns and the spa offices at Therme 2000, one of the biggest such foundations in the Netherlands. Notwithstanding the remains of the 12th century palace on Dwingelra, Castle Rock, there's likewise the intriguing 14th century St. Nicolaas Kirk Basilica. Another feature is the town's celebrated Christmas market, mid-November to December 23, held in the Velvet Caves, the labyrinth of old ways prompting in from the palace.